read a different interview with you guys where you were talking about wanting to get into other games other than the Party Pack. Is there anything else that you're working on at the moment?
Oh, yeah.
Hello and welcome to Lightmap, SIFTER's video game industry interview show. I'm Nom and I got the chance to go to PAX Australia to interview CEO Mike Bilder and Chief Creative Officer Allard Laban from Jackbox Games. We talked about the upcoming Party Pack 11, they let me in on some juicy Jackbox tips, and we also talked about what else is there for the Jackbox Games company other than the Party Packs. Stay tuned for that. Guys, how do you feel being in Australia?
Love it. We love it here. The show's always great.
Yeah, I look forward to this show more than any other show of the year. For one, it's just lovely to be in Australia, and two, the fans are just stupendous. We love them.
Yeah.
They're really, they've been really gracious and accepting of us ever since we first came to the show, and I feel like we've grown a little bit of a following. People come every show, and we say the same faces. It's so great to see everybody. Good friends, everyone.
Yeah, it's great to see everybody playing the games. I consistently see a big group of people on the beanbags every year playing these games.
I don't know if they're just escaping the craziness of the hall, but we're happy to have them, and we see them all the time, and we're like, come on, get out there, do something. And they're like, no, we're going to just hang out and play. So happy to have them.
Would you say that being in Australia has inspired any new mini games for Jackbox?
It's definitely inspired how we figure out our content. Anytime we came up with American content in those questions, people are like, boo. So we took that back, and we actually changed the way that we organize our content in our games to be a little bit more, so you don't have to have all that American content all the time. You can turn that off. And that's thanks to the Aussies.
Yeah, the fans come up to us all day while they're playing the games, and they tell us what they like. They tell us what challenges they might have with the games, and we take all that feedback. So, like Allard said, that's a real explicit example of how we've taken direct feedback from the show and from our fans. But a lot of times it's, we love this game, we want to see a sequel to this game, and we're like, hang on, there might be one coming, you never know. So that's good to hear too.
And we're building a lot of relationships with smaller indie devs from Melbourne and all over Australia, and I feel like that's really going to kind of enrich what we have to offer in the future.
Yeah, see, I love that, because you're just coming out with Jackbox Party Pack 11, which is available in 12 days, is it?
Yeah, that's right,
Yeah,
October 23rd. Yeah.
Right around the corner.
Yeah.
We're really excited.
It's so exciting.
So far, we've been seeing notes on streams or whatnot where people are saying all bangers.
Yep.
And for us, that's a really big thing, because while we kind of designed packs to be kind of diverse and appeal to different people, it feels like this pack has really kind of got broad appeal. So we're looking forward to seeing what people think. So.
It's normally you do 4 games and then a sequel game, but this is 5 new games. So what would you recommend people check out first out of the new games?
Yeah, so maybe the easiest game to get into is probably Doominate. It's a lot like Quiplash in that you just answer prompts and then you vote on your funniest one, basically, with a twist. It's not the same as Quiplash. But one of the unique ones in this pack uses some new technology on the phone to record your voice. It's called Hearsay, and it's got sound effects and playback that happen over videos that are quite amusing. So those are the two I'd say are easy ins and good to try out first. The other games are awesome too.
Yeah. There's a game I particularly love is Legends of Trivia. You take a RPG-like party across 3 different lands, and you answer trivia, and it's challenging, but you have to kind of gather your smart friends together and make sure you have somebody who's good at different categories, like geography to pop culture, and you work together to defeat monsters, and it's got a real fun, epic feel to it, and I think it's something that people will be playing for a long time.
Yeah, that's the game I saw, and I was really excited for, because I was like, I feel like it's inspired by is it inspired by Dungeons and Dragons, or what were you inspired by with this?
All of those tropes. We went all in. We even have stores where you can buy items, so it has sort of a RPG-like kind of vibe to it, and it's super fun and lots of funny characters and great writing.
Suspectives is another game in the pack, and it's kind of a hidden identity whodunit type game where everyone is both a suspect and a detective, so you have to figure out who actually committed the crime. And then I think the last one we haven't talked about is Cookie House, which is kind of a cozy drawing game where you decorate cookies, and it's actually got a really satisfying tool set on the controller for drawing, and it feels like you're icing a cookie. It's very cool.
Yeah, it's got very similitude, as they say. It's very tactile.
Yeah.
I read a different interview with you guys where you were talking about wanting to get into other games other than the Party Pack. Is there anything else that you're working on at the moment?
Oh yeah, we're working on a standalone version of Trivia Murder Party with a new engine, a whole new vibe, but still the same content, still the same humor, but it's going to be a really impressive kind of offering from us. It's the first in this engine, so we're looking forward to that in probably the fall of next year.
Yeah.
That's so exciting.
Yeah, we'll have that next year, as well as another title that we haven't yet announced. And then we're working on a streaming service, so a cloud-based streaming service where you can basically just have a subscription and access your Jackbox catalog, all of the Jackbox games, on smart TVs and other devices. You don't need a console, you don't need a computer, you can play them just directly on these TVs. Yeah. And then we have a couple other games that we're kind of toying around with that might be released next year as well, but more to say on that in the future. Nothing to announce yet.
Wow, so you've got a lot on the pipeline.
There's a lot going on.
We do. We haven't really, expanded the team too much, but we've been really busy. And figuring out how to get everything done in time. But we're super excited about this particular Party Pack 11, because I think it's really drawn the best out of us, and especially since there's no sequel, I feel like this is a real unique offering for us.
Yeah, what's the vibe like in the office? Is everybody suggesting games or?
Yeah, this time of year is actually, now that we're sort of wrapping up with Party Pack 11, it is ideation time, where everybody in the office has an opportunity to pitch a game. We also do workshops and prototyping and brainstorms on a daily basis, and since we're kind of remote first, everybody's calling in. We have a lot of online discussions about what we're making and what we want to try and tackle for next year.
You could be a QA person, you can be an artist or an engineer or a programmer. Everyone is involved in the process. If they have great ideas, they kind of bring them to the table. So we have a committee that kind of hears the pitches, and as we greenlight games, we get a little more strict. So if we greenlight a drawing game, and there's more drawing games that are being pitched, we might say, hold on to those for a future year because we've already got a strong drawing game in this pack. So this time of year, it's that whole phase, but it's also the phase of revisiting some of those games that weren't greenlit in the past that were really good ideas, and how do we dust those off or maybe try to plus them up and pitch them again. So it's a fun, exciting time of year for us.
Really my favorite time of year, really, because it's all about new beginnings and anything's possible. But like Mike said, a lot of these ideas go through a couple of years of iteration. Something like Trivia Murder Party actually went through 2 years before it was actually greenlit. There's something about the incubation period of some ideas. Sometimes all of a sudden you're like, oh duh, that's how we should do it.
Right.
And that's when we kind of move things forward into the next phase.
Or new people in the studio pick up the idea and put a different twist on it, and suddenly, oh, now it works. You figured it out. So.
And you two have been with Jackbox since the beginning, right?
I think before time itself was being recorded. I started with the whole Jackbox family in 1995. I was the original art director for You Don't Know Jack, which was a popular game show game back in the day. Yeah. And luckily I've been able to kind of connect again with Jackbox and everybody in the early 2000s, and it's the rest is history.
Yeah, I haven't been there quite as long, but I have been with the company for 17 years. So the whole phase of the Jackbox Party Packs, we've been there since the beginning of that, which has been really fun and rewarding.
Yeah, so it's probably a hard one to ask, but do you guys have a favorite Jackbox game out of all of the mini games that you have?
Yeah, Fibbage is my favorite. It was kind of the first standalone game that we did with phones as controllers, and I like it because you can play it both ways. You can play it to be good at trivia and trying to win the game, and you can play it to just be funny, and to me that's like a winning formula, so I always have fun playing that game.
For me, it's probably the original Drawful is like a big favorite of mine, probably because I also worked on it, but I really love Champed Up. Banging music, it's like a funny premise, and I think the editorial is great.
I'm a big fan of TKO.
Oh, yeah.
My friends and I got one of the shirts made from when we played the game. Have you guys had any shirts made from TKO or anything like that?
Yes.
Yeah. And funny story, basically the rejected shirts come to our office.
Really?
So we get piles of shirts that are either misprints or that were rejected because they're just inappropriate. So we'll open up a shirt burn that one, that's terrible, yeah. But we come to conventions like this and we'll see groups of people walking around with the same TKO shirt from a party that they all bought together, and that's super fun and super rewarding.
Can you give me an example?
of shirts that they've worn.
Yeah.
I mean, they're always the most ridiculous things.
Yeah.
It'll be
I don't think they're fit for broadcast.
yeah, right.
Yeah, that's fair.
Right. But it's like the game. You'll get some picture and some slogan that are just juxtaposed and have nothing in common, but together they're very funny, and those are the best.
And is there anything that you guys would like people to know about the new game that maybe I haven't asked about, or just a fun fact?
Well, it's going to be out on all major platforms, so it'll be on all the consoles. It'll be on Steam, PC, Mac, and Linux, and then on some of the set-top boxes like Fire TV and Apple TV, and it comes out October 23rd, so we're really excited for people to see it.
It feels like sort of a throwback to sort of earlier ideation of Jackbox. It's actually, the theming of it is actually sort of a bookend to the Party Pack 5, where it's all set in outer space. We're back in outer space again with this one, and I don't know, for me that's almost metaphorical too, how we feel about the production here. We've kind of returned a little bit to our roots in some things.
You're listening to Lightmap, interesting conversations with video game creators.
This has been Lightmap Sifter's interview podcast. We had the best time at Melbourne International Games Week and PAX Australia. If you haven't seen our shorts content from that yet, we did a bunch of short interviews. Go check out our Facebook and Instagram at SIFTERHQ. You can also check out our website at sifter.com.au. Sifter is produced by myself, Kat John, Fiona Bartholomeus, Kyle Pauletto, Adam Christo, and Chris Button. Mitch Lowe is senior producer, and Gianni DiGiovanni is Sifter's executive producer and script editor. Thanks to Audio Technica Australia and Apple for their support of Sifter's podcast. We'll catch you on the next episode of Lightmap.